So Okta with Terraform. So Terraform is a tool through which you can describe your Okta configuration, right? Other than Terraform, if you have to use admin console, you go to applications, or you go to users directory, and you create a user or you create an application for your sign. So all those activity which we perform in the admin console can be done using Terraform as well. So Terraform would help us write the code and make this configuration instead of using the administrator console. So the benefit of this is we can also preview what our change is going to look like, what are the things which will be changed in Okta even before applying these processes. So if you're using admin console, you don't have an option to preview it. You have to create a real application in the environment in order to see how it looks like. But using Terraform, we can first preview how that result would be. And then if we are satisfied with that result, we can go ahead and create that application. So these are the benefits, previewing the changes before committing them. Then if we have some repeatable functions like app integration is a repeatable function, assigning users to a group, creating policies, these are repeatable functions. So we can automate these processes with help of DevOps tools like using a version control, using ServiceNow or Jira as a task ticketing tool or task tool, which can initiate these automated automations. Then using Terraform, we can write this codes automatically, and we can publish this code into Okta. Then using CI/CD tool, these will automatically get created and pushed into Okta, and we can also share the code among multiple Okta developers so that they can work on this collaboration together, right? And finally, this all can be audited in both Terraform as well as in Okta. So we have uh, a predefined process, and we can automate this entire repeatable process, and there will be responsibility and trackability of this entire solution. This is a demo project structure of how a Terraform look like. We'll start with a single environment. Single environment means you have only one Okta where you do both prod, pre-prod, dev testing, right? In that case, we only need to connect Terraform with a single Okta instances. In a multi-environment, you might have different Okta tenants to configure prod, dev, sandbox, UAT, and each of these Okta need to be in sync so that we can do this similar kind of testing, or they might have UAT might have some specific configuration which might not be in prod, and we can only push those changes after a change request has been approved. So if in a multi-environment, we would follow a different project structure. In a single environment, we follow a different structure. Again, this is a sample structure based on the client's requirement or your requirement. The project structure has to be defined in such a way. So if we look here at the single environment project structure, then there is main.tf. So any file which stands with .tf is a Terraform file. It's extension to define the Terraform files, and all of these files would be run when we run the Terraform command. Tf vars is a file to declare some variables in Terraform. So in this, we are defining first file called as provider.tf. With provider is a collection of APIs. So if you have worked with Okta APIs before, in Postman or by writing a script, you know what those APIs are. So we define the collection of the APIs, which is called as provider in Terraform. So we define the provider, what provider we are going to use in provider.tf, and then we initiate that provider in main.tf. So main.tf is an entry point for our Terraform project structure. Then while running the Terraform, we need certain variables or information about our Okta instances to be passed, like our Okta base URL, the API token. We would define those in variables.tf file. In terraform.tf vars, we can also define variables which can be uh, used while executing, like you can define an app name or username or any variable which you would like to use for your project. Then finally, when the Terraform uh, has executed those code and has created the resources within Okta, then we need to generate some output. Those output can be defined in output.tf, and those output would be shown to the users on the Terraform CLI. Output of entire of these Terraform runs will be stored in a file called as Terraform state. So Terraform state is a file which will be a single file describing your entire environment. So if you have 100 applications, 1,000 users, all of those would be there in Terraform state file. Any configuration which is present in Terraform state file is managed by Terraform. If it is missing from Terraform state file, then Terraform is not managing that. And if you by accidentally delete any of the configuration of the Terraform state file, then the next time the Terraform runs, those configuration would be deleted from Okta as well. So it's a very critical file. Then if we come to multi-environment. In multi-environment, all the variables for the different environments can change. The base code might remain same. The variable path like the base URL or the API token of different Okta instances would change. So we would define them separately in their own TF-var files and would refer them. We might also create specific folders for these different environments and we can store them. Then Terraform also offers something called as workspaces. We might store these Terraform state files in different workspaces and so on. So there are multiple ways of doing a multi-environment. This is just a sample one.